Health recently launched a new campaign to encourage adults to get screened for colon cancer starting at age 45. It's called Get Screened Hawaii, and joining me this morning is Joanna Odesco, Cancer Programs clinical nurse from the Department of Health, and gastroenterologist Dr. Ankur Jain. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so can you tell us a little bit about, why screening for colon cancer is so important?
Sure. So screening for any cancer is really important because that's where really we can catch the disease early and a much more likelihood of us treating it successfully. Colon cancer in particular is a very common disease. It's actually the third most common cancer, second most common cause of cancer death. And we've seen an alarming increase in people under the age of 50 with this cancer. It's actually now the leading cause of cancer death in younger patients. But the key point is that it is a treatable disease, especially if we catch it early. And when we do a colonoscopy, which is one form of screening, we can actually detect polyps, which are precancerous growths, and we can remove those polyps, therefore preventing the cancer from forming. So screening is important both, in this case, for early detection and with the colonoscopy prevention of the cancer as well.
Like you said, screening is very important, and it's also good to know more about it. Can you tell us a little bit about the symptoms?
Sure. Well, what makes colon cancer so concerning is that sometimes there isn't always symptoms that you may see, especially early on. And that's why it's important to get screened regularly. With that said, and with that in mind, some of the symptoms that people should pay attention to are change in your bowel habits, seeing blood in or on your stool, or dealing with ongoing diarrhea or constipation, or even not fully feeling that you've emptied your bowels. Some people might also notice persistent abdominal pain or cramping that just doesn't go away, or you may have unexplained weight loss. So if you have any of these symptoms, or if you're feeling something off or different, it's important that you don't ignore your symptoms. Talk to your doctor, let them know your concerns.
I like that. So definitely, if it sounds like if there's something that's definitely out of the norm, out of the ordinary, go talk to your doctor. And then if you're in that age group already, go get screened. Okay, so let's say we're at the doctor's office. Can you tell us how the screening works?
Sure. So it's recommended now that everyone over the age of 45 gets screened. That's where we see the highest amount of colon cancer. But there are other risk factors which may warrant earlier screening. Patients who have inflammatory bowel disease, family history of colon cancer, other polyp conditions. But the important thing is getting that screening test done. So, doctors are aware or providers are aware that screening does start at 45. They'll discuss several options. There's a stool test, which can be done safely at home. There's also x-rays, but the gold standard is a colonoscopy, because as we discussed, that's the only way we can both detect and prevent that cancer from forming. So which test really depends on the patient, their preferences, their risk factors. Certainly patients who are high risk should undergo a colonoscopy. The stool tests themselves are not enough. And the protective interval is also longer. If you have a normal colonoscopy with no risk factors, you're good for 10 years, whereas stool tests can be done anywhere from 1 to 3 years, depending on what type of test it is. But again, as we always hammer to every patient, is the best screening test is the one that gets done. The other thing also I want to mention and keep in mind is that patients who do undergo a non-colonoscopy test, and it does come back abnormal, it's really important to follow that up with a colonoscopy to make sure that there is nothing serious going on inside the colon.
And, can people go under and not feel a thing, or do they need to stay awake for screening?
That's an excellent question, right? And it does come up all the time. So the stool test, as we mentioned, can be done at home, and during COVID, that's where a lot of people were preferring it because they didn't want to come into the facility. So colonoscopies are generally done in a facility. We have a team of nurses, techs that assist us with the case. And there are options available. So the prep is obviously some of the most uncomfortable part. You have to take a laxative to clean out so that we can get a good look. During the procedure itself, we are going in through different parts of the colon. And we're examining the area carefully, but we're also putting air in and going through those different twists and turns. So sometimes that can be uncomfortable. So there are options for sedation. There's what we call conscious or partial sedation, as well as full sedation or anesthesia. So again, there's certain risk factors which make it safer to have the anesthesiologist there. But either way, we try our best to keep patients comfortable but our priority is always keeping them safe.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for that information. I didn't realize there are various options that you can do because people start this later in life, so they're not used to it. So I really appreciate that there are options that try to make it as comfortable as possible, as comfortable as you need it to be. And it's so important, like you said, to be screened because of the statistics. Can you expand, Joanna, a little bit more about that for Hawaii?
Sure. In Hawaii, colon cancer is the third leading cancer-related death in men and fourth in women. And more than 200 people die from colon cancer in Hawaii every year. That's why the Department of Health encourages that people get screened regularly starting at the age 45. And it's really important to talk to your doctor about which screening test is the right one. If you'd like to learn more information about colon cancer or colon cancer screenings, you can visit our website at getscreened.hawaii.gov for more information and resources.
Well, I definitely feel less scared about it so because of all this information. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks again.
Thank you.